Hello and welcome to Win, Learn or Draw, a West Tigers podcast, because the Tigers never lose. They either win or they learn. And sometimes they draw, like they did in their first ever game.
Yeah,
right?
into the year 2000, first ever game, they drew.
Yeah, against the Broncos.
Don't know if they have since.
No.
Can't remember one.
Yeah, look it up though. They did draw, so it does happen from time to time. Welcome back to the show. We're here, of course, joining the West Tigers on their charge back towards the top 16, which is not a done thing just yet.
It was looking good.
Was looking good.
Lessons ago.
Yep.
Now it's looking a little bit more dicey, but that's okay.
No, that's fine.
We're still confident, aren't we?
Oh, very confident. Yeah, can't wait. And a good opportunity to teach more this weekend against the Raiders out at Campbelltown College. More on that a little bit later in the show. But a little bit of hygiene off the top. If you like what we're doing, please make sure you're following us on Instagram, on TikTok, subscribed on YouTube, subscribed on all of your podcast platforms as well. And if you've got time, if you're able to do it, give us a 5-star review and write us a little blurb as well about what you're liking about the show. And thank you so much.
Yeah.
To all the people who have done it over the past 2 or 3 weeks. We've been, I know we've been at you a lot to do it, but I'll tell you what, Mort, I've been a little bit overwhelmed with how many people have actually jumped on and done that this week.
It's a good indication of how loyal and brave our students are to be able to jump on and just get that done. It takes 5 minutes. That's all, Hammy.
Yep.
You can get on and do it. And I think that the fact that so many people have done it means that they're listening and they're proud of what we're achieving as
That's
West
right.
Tigers fans.
They've been good students, because that's what listens to this.
It's a loyal fan base. We've spoken about that at length.
We're the best educated fans in the comp, the West Tigers. We keep on learning, and it's always great when you set some homework and your students go away and they do it. So thank you for doing that. Raise the bat on Apple Podcasts. I think 50 reviews came in.
50 reviews, that's right.
We cracked 50.
And that Isaac Moses review of a 2-star has been almost wiped when
Yes.
out 4.9 because of the strength in numbers.
Yep, weighted numbers.
The students of the game have wiped that 2-star
Absolutely.
review right out of the park. So thank you so much for jumping on. Spotify as well, raging ahead, 87 5
The devil's number in Australian cricket.
That's right.
Yeah.
13 short. And Simon
Kadich used to wear it, as we covered off extensively last week. Because he choked Michael Clark in the change rooms.
He did. He throttled him.
He did.
I think was the wording we used.
You know what he said was the biggest regret of choking Michael Clark in the change rooms?
What's that?
Was having to wipe all the fake tan off his hand. I saw him do a Sporties and he... that's what he said.
They're not fans of each other.
No, they're not.
They're not. Yes, we're charging on the way to 2,005 fans across YouTube.
Yep.
Instagram, if we combine them, we'd be there.
Oh, okay.
But we're not going to combine them.
No, we're not going to combine them. We want them individually.
Duplicated. Yes.
That's right.
Because they could be someone that's a fan of both.
Yep.
We're at almost 1,000 for YouTube.
OMG.
And almost 1,750 for IG. So
like it.
Come on, little push.
Yep.
Little push as we get towards the end of the season, and a bit of a merch drop coming. Which,
if we get to 2005, we've said it before, we'll say it again. If we get to 2005, subscribers, followers on one of those channels, we'll get some merch out there. So balls in your court, students of the game. Now, obviously, we had a Moses M on the weekend. Moses M buy. We've been having a few of those lately.
We have. Thank God. We needed them.
We needed a couple of injections of 2 points. And
we probably needed them more than we needed Moses M.
Yeah.
If he was a great player, but we probably didn't need him at that point in time.
No, as much as we've needed these little hits of 2 points. So
we'll
take them on board. But what the Moses M gave you an opportunity to do over the weekend was actually, and this will give great depth of field to our Reggies Wrap when that comes up a little bit later in the show. But you were able to go out to Lidcombe Oval.
I was.
And you were able to go and watch the Magpies take on are they the Blacktown Workers Sea Eagles these days, or are they back to the Manly Sea Eagles?
There was a bit of Blacktown involved there somewhere. Okay. But they were the Sea Eagles.
Okay.
Definitely.
So the Pies versus the Eagles. I'm going to give you 30 seconds, if you can, to sum it up, because you were there, boots on the ground, which we love. So to sum it up in 30 seconds, it's over to you in 3, 2, 1.
On Saturday, Lidcombe Oval, which funnily enough is actually an oval, played home to a decades-old rivalry between Wests and Manly that you could feel permeating through the air. A $6 sausage sandwich, a $6 tinny, and a $45 Western Suburbs hat later, I was feeling like I'd been transported back in time as the mighty Magpies sent the Eagles packing back to the Insular Peninsula with their silver tail between their legs. The Fibros got up convincingly, 32 points to 10. So that's 3 wins in a row, and now we're in 9th. And I'm supremely confident with a top 16 finish in Reggies, specifically because there are 13 teams in the comp. Go Magpies.
It's a yes from me. 40.82 seconds, but I didn't see that coming at the end there. You really got me off guard.
I've been actually practicing this afternoon to make a magpie
And it
sound.
shows. It paid off. Love that.
That's as close as I could get.
Let's just rewind through a couple of these things here. $6 for a tinny, acceptable.
Great.
That's actually pretty good value.
And they're good variants of tinnies as well.
What are we talking?
Like Reggies, New, VB.
Yep. West Tigers bitter.
West Tigers bitter. Don't think it was there. You don't even. I actually went up to the gate and I said, because it was members got in for free.
Yep.
Said, I'm a West Tigers member, and he goes, yeah, get in, mate, and I won't hold that against you. I went, still a bit of a touchy subject out there, but I was head to toe in my Victor.
You had your pie stuff on?
Yeah, my pie stuff I did, and then bought this hat.
Yeah. Well, they certainly got that. They certainly saw a bit of a sucker coming when they
saw me come. They go, this guy's a West Tigers fan. I can tell.
I asked you on the way in the orange room. I said, "Great ad. How much was that?" And you said, "I want to save that for the show." Actually,
so this is what happened. I was like, $6 sanger, great. $6 tin, great. So there was no prices on any of the merch on there, and I was like, well, if I'm going off the track record of the tin and the sandwich, this is going to be cheap.
Yeah, $6.
Yeah, I would have thought $6, $666. And I said, can I have that grey hat, please, mate? And he goes, yeah, no worries, mate. Didn't say the price and just gave me the FPOS machine. I went, Dick. And I looked at it and said $45. I went, Jesus Christ.
Can I be honest? It's a nice hat, though.
Thanks.
I will
say. Do you know what? I'll get 45 wears out of it at least.
You will. $1 a wear.
Gave me a little bit of more merch to wear on this potty as well that I've forked out this year. Obviously, the retro shirts and the free jersey I got from Roasty.
Yep. You get a receipt for it?
No,
tax deduction.
Oh, yeah. No, I was thinking that.
Should go back out to Lidcombe Oval and get that receipt.
Mate, Lidcombe Oval, fantastic,
yes.
by the way.
I actually refereed my one and only game out there in the charity game last year.
That's right. That picture of Hainsey.
Hainsey got stuck into me out there.
You're a bit up and under.
Yeah. We're on the cover of the Rugby League Live 2026 game.
I saw that.
See that going around on Instagram on
Rugby League 26 coming out this time next month, but no one's seen anything about it except the cover of you and Hainsey.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm excited.
Let's hope you can't judge the game by its cover. Hopefully it's a bit better than that. It's 17th of July, I believe. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah.
I'm actually really looking forward to that. But yeah, I'll recap it a little bit later in the set of six. But it was a magical afternoon, topped off by Lidcombe Hotel and then the Railway Hotel out there.
How good.
Bit of a sleepy ride back into
the big
city.
two.
The big two. There is
Love
a third pub out there, but
save that one for next time. Yeah, no, that's fair. $45 for a hat though, eh? That's the tariffs for you.
Yeah, you can blame certain someone on that.
Yep.
Mate, I wanted to touch on a membership drive as well.
Oh yeah, drive it up.
We'll go on about Richo's update in the set of six as well.
Yep.
But we know we're at 10K,
update.
but he really
rattled a few cages as well.
He did in a good way.
Yep.
We're not backing down this year.
No, we're not.
We're saying what's on our mind.
Yep.
We're at 10K, but he wants us to get to 11. That's not that hard.
That's not that. I wouldn't have thought so.
We're not that far off. By my math, that's 1,000.
Yeah.
And
1,000.
1,000. And I reckon we can do it.
Yeah.
And I actually popped into ChatGPT. Why should I be a West Tigers member?
Yep.
And it said being a member isn't just practical; it's emotional. You wear the colours, back the team every round, and stand with them through thick and thin. Real fans don't just watch; they belong. And there's 10% off Raw Store merch. So it's true though.
It is.
If you consider yourself a fan, you've got to sign up and be a member. You're giving financial backing. It's showing your pride in that team. And we are the proudest, loyalist, happiest. I was talking to some Dragons fans the other day. You know how angry they are?
Oh, yeah.
And they haven't even had as horrid run as we have.
Yeah.
And
they stunk on the weekend though. Ooh.
Oh, they've stunk for a while.
Yeah.
And we're just so and the best way to show your loyalty is become a member. So let's make Richo happy.
Yep.
He's done some good things for the club.
He has.
Let's get us to 11,000. Super achievable.
No, completely agree with that. Really done its homework there, the ChatGPT, hasn't it? 10% off of the Raw Store. Anything about Hames Paint in there?
No, I don't know if that deal's still running. We might have to check in with Langy because I did search quite a lot for it and I couldn't find it.
It's disappeared.
Maybe
you couldn't miss it there for a while. Might have been moving too many units.
Yes, I reckon that must be so. Members were just cashing in on that. But maybe if Haim is listening, bring it back and we can speak about it again.
100%. Well, the point we're trying to make is though, so many great reasons to be a member. Not just the paint. So
no, you're right. 10% off Raw Store, and just the fact that you're supporting the club. That's 100%. Given you so much joy.
Free entry to Lidcombe Oval.
Free entry to Lidcombe Oval, might I add.
Yep.
And $45 hat.
Yep.
Cool. So you mentioned before the 5-star reviews flying through. I wanted to call out a couple.
Yep, by all means.
One from Apple and one from Spotify. This one's from Tiger Yarn.
Yep.
5-star review. He said, or they said, the boys share some great current Tigers chat, as well as share some stories from the glory days.
Together at last.
Pretty good summation.
An eclectic blend.
He said, a serious yet light-hearted analysis of the club and some raw truths.
How do you spell that?
You won't guess how he spelt that. Have a crack.
Well, but it sounds like what he's trying to say to be R-A-W.
You would think so.
You think so,
But it's R-O-A-R.
You're kidding.
And I don't understand why, and I think I might have to get you to paint me a picture later in the show.
Yep. Let us know in the comments why might it be spelled like that. But
I don't know why he's done that. But a great summation of the show there.
Fantastic. And 5 stars as well, which we'll take.
5 stars. Thank you, Tiger Yarn.
Yep.
And then on Spotify, Tiger Jono.
Yep.
After 4 learns, this was the best show ever. Thanks for the laughs. A couple of emojis.
Yep.
I'm a diehard Tiger and was at the 1969 grand final.
Nice.
Go Tiger
Dinner
Jono.
for 2.
You guys are the best, with so much positivity backed up by Lockie Pringle, Backfence Brown,
Oh, yes.
etc.
Chugga, chugga, chugga.
Keep it coming as we are going on a run, starting with the Moses and then smashing the Faders.
Yep.
Kanda Tigers. P.S. In the words of the late, great Laurie Nichols from 50 years ago, we'll eat them alive in 2025.
Yes, well, hopefully we can start eating alive this weekend. There's one that caught my eye as well. This was from Apple. And I did bump into him, more on this later, Backfence Brown yesterday.
Yeah.
And he said, it looks like my comment hasn't come through, but it came through this morning. Best Tigers content since Bo Knows is the title of his post here. 5 stars.
Huge.
Funnier than the footy show 2013 first episode where Benji parodies "We Are Never Getting Back Together." West Tigers till I die. 2040. Let's bloody go. Chugga chugga chugga.
Well, it's definitely him. It's not someone trying to pretend to be him if we signed off that way.
Absolutely. So, look, keep them coming, guys. Loving getting these reviews in.
Yes.
It means a lot, and obviously it helps us, as we've discussed at length, shoot up the Anthony Albanese. Get onto some of those.
Albanese is waiting for us to just shoot up it as well. So
some of those podcast chart leaderboards and things like that.
Yeah, I had a look today. We weren't quite there yet, but if we keep getting the algo favouring us, then we're going to shoot up. So
Where it's easier, getting into the top 16 in the NRL or the top 16 in the Apple Podcast charts?
Who do you reckon will get there first? West Tigers or the Win Learn?
It'll be neck and neck.
Yeah.
Don't know. Still,
let's wait and see.
Still plenty of footy to play out this year.
Hopefully the students can drive us up that Albanese and it'll make the conversation a little bit more tricky at the end of the year.
Yep.
But I'm very excited for that. Hey, you're heading out to the game this Friday?
I am. Heading out to the 9th one of the world. Haven't been out there this year. So I picked a perfect time to do it. 3rd week of June. It's going to be freezing out there. 8 p.m. game against the Milk.
Yep.
Hume Highway Derby.
Yes.
Smashed them out there last time. 48 points, 24.
Wow.
If memory serves. Adam Dewey, if not comeback game, certainly the game that he announced he was back, scored a couple of nice tries.
Yeah, nice.
So I will be heading out there. I'm looking forward to it. Heading out there with a friend of the show, Timmy Williams from the Bloke in a Bar podcast and SC Playbook. He's a Raiders fan who left the game early last time we went out there. So
because they were getting so smashed.
Yeah, have to wait and see if he beats the traffic again this time.
Typical fader.
Looking forward to it. Can't wait to get out there. Get out there nice and early. Go to the probably nip to the Leagues Club or the Sherman.
Yep.
The Shifty Sherwin, Brent Sherwin.
That's right.
And I will be definitely consuming a Mr. Whippy at some stage out there. Looking forward to that.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's my same game multi. Campbelltown Leagues, Sherwin, one or more soft serves at the 9th one of the world.
One or more.
Yep. You won't be able to join me though this weekend.
So
sadly.
I'm doing something that is very close to mine and my wife's heart, and it's a charity play, bringing awareness and kind of recognition to the fact that basically kids in this country can go to prison, 10-year-old kids, which is crazy, right? Mm-hmm. So part of the industry I'm in, we're basically going into a juvenile detention centre overnight, spending the night there and seeing what it's like to do experience that, I guess. I guess for me, I can get out the next day, but there's a charity push to kind of break down that barrier of kids going to prison and try and give them alternatives, so they don't end up in a prison cell, they end up with some support and alternate pathways. So, yeah, pretty close topic for us. And, we'll put a little story up and maybe put a little link through if people can donate. I need to raise $1,250 to get out on Saturday morning.
Okay.
But unfortunately, I won't have a phone. I won't have anything. I'll be on a prison floor on Friday night. So I've had a few people say you'd rather that than watch the Tigers at Campbelltown.
Well, I was going to put a more positive spin on and say, hopefully once you get that phone back, you'll be in for a nice surprise.
Yeah, so, I don't know whether to check the score. Like, what would you do? Check the score straight away or try and go in blind and watch a mini or the full game and just have Saturday morning surprise, see how I'm going?
What about, why don't we get, this is a bit of a, we're going kind of out of order here, but for raw emotion, if you want to throw in some game reviews for Mort, so as soon as he gets out of the cell, he can just jump in the DMs and listen to a couple of ROAR voice notes about the game.
Good point.
That might be the best way for you to experience what you missed out on first and foremost.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Well, we'll put out the raw emotion call at full time anyway, right?
Yeah,
you'll be there.
Yep.
I would imagine if you could capture some live. No, I won't put that pressure on you. You're there to enjoy.
No, I'll give you something.
Mr. Whippy all around your mouth.
Yeah. I might do camera off for me. Yeah. All right. Well, good luck with it, mate.
Thank you, mate.
I saw in the just the dot point you had here in the run sheet was just Elliot going to jail this Friday. I thought about bloody time. But no, it's a great cause, mate. Good luck with it, and
Thank you, mate.
I'm sure. Yeah, it's a very, very worthy cause.
Yeah, thank you, mate. And a lot of people are saying they'd pay to keep me in. So if that's the option you want to take, then that's fine as well.
Yep.
Let's get stuck into the set of six.
Let's do it.
Biggest piece of, I guess, my week content was Richo with his Behind the Raw CEO update. So no Lockie McIntyre there, just Richo and a microphone.
Saw Lockie doing a cashy for RM Williams. Must be nice.
Yeah, he's going well, Lockie.
He's going very well. Should get him on at some point, actually.
He actually hit us up the other day, see if we were coming out to the game, but the Parramatta game. The game at Parramatta against Penrith.
Yep.
Which we unfortunately didn't, but yeah, friend of the show.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
But yeah, anyway, he wasn't there. It was just big Shane Richo Richardson.
He was like Ray Hadley, wasn't he? Just on his own, just yelling into the mic,
100%,
letting everyone know what's going on.
Kyle Sandiland's golden mic kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like just a real personality there and shining through.
Yep.
And he said a few really key things. And he has been a little quiet the last few weeks, so it was good for him to come out and address the loyal fans. I think we got a members first email, if I'm right.
We did.
Another perk.
Another perk.
But these are some of the few key takeaways. And this is the first one is the thing that he probably got in most trouble for. And I believe there's been an investigation into this.
Jeff too, you'd be happy with that.
Yeah. He's saying the refs stitch up the lower teams as a subconscious kind of bias. So when you think about
bias.
Hey?
bias.
Moses and bias, that you think about it, right? And you go, well, this team's not that good or they're not performing that well. So chances are they did just commit a penalty. Or if it's like a
chances are they're about to lose.
Chances are they are about to lose too. Or if it's a Melbourne, they go, a ref might go, oh, it's Melbourne. They probably didn't do the wrong thing because they're really good and well coached.
Yes.
So he's got a point.
He does.
Do you agree?
I do.
I don't think we'll get fined.
No, we'll be fine. Great point, Richo. Well said. Well articulated. Completely agree. I think it does seep in a little bit. You often don't get the rub of the green when you're down the bottom, unfortunately. It's just the way that it goes. And no two fans to give you a better insight on that than us. We've been sitting at the bottom of the ladder for 3 years, basically. We've seen it firsthand.
100%.
We get stitched up constantly. The amount of times we got sin bin last year, we've been a little bit better this year, had a bit more of a rub of the green, but cost us in the Cowboys game. We played with 12 for 20 minutes of the game. 75% of the game, we had one man down.
Yep. Para game, the refs.
Para game, we got absolutely.
Can I give you another example? Our episode last week was called Pen Ref.
Pen Ref, and rightly so, because we got absolutely stitched up with some very contentious penalties that just weren't there. Yeah. Or, shouldn't have been there. Wouldn't have been there if it was a team that was a bit higher up the ladder.
And is there are we having a bit of confirmation bias here? Or is there, do Melbourne get unfairly treated?
No.
Do the Bulldogs get unfairly treated? No,
they get looked after.
There you go. So Richo's right.
They just roll out the purple carpet for them.
They do, don't they?
Yep.
And the blue and white carpet.
Blue and white carpet.
For the Bulldogs.
Yep.
The other thing he said more positively, that he's been really impressed with Benji and what the type of footy that the team is playing. And
echoing the sentiments of Lockie Pringle.
Yeah. Well, I reckon Lockie Pringle might have written that bit for him. I don't know if you saw Lockie Pringle's comment got shared on the West Tigers Instagram.
Rightly so. Came up beautifully.
It was.
We got to start doing more stuff on X for that matter, because that's where they were picking them out from.
Yes.
The nice comments.
X. That's
the artist formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah, I do know it.
Yeah.
He encouraged them to play footy. So just keep playing footy.
Yep.
I must admit, you and I are both fans of what the West Tigers are doing at the moment. And Lockie Pringle is also a fan.
Correct. Friend of the show. Not sure if he knows he's a friend of the show yet, but Joel Kane said a very similar thing on SEN a couple of weeks ago. He said if the Tigers try to play a cheap brand of what Penrith were, it's not going to work. If they play footy, ping it around like they did in the second half against the Cowboys, and which they did for big chunks of the game against Penrith, they'll go all right.
Yep.
So, some of the sharper minds in the game are singing off the same hymn sheet there. Play footy. Richo said it. Joel said it. Lockie Pringle said it. We've said it.
And now
the sharpest minds.
3 bachelor's degree in wooden spoons over the past 3 years has brought us to a point where we're like, we could be sitting here sooking about, 4 lessons in a row, but we still are trying to permeate that positivity around the club.
Yeah.
And the club are reciprocating, and they're giving it back to the fans and being like, guys, we are on the right track. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
And Lockie Pringle, us, Richo, Benji, everyone's going with, don't worry. Everyone just chill. Like, it might not come now, but the wins will come.
Yep.
And we've got the cattle to do so. So
that's right.
Got to agree with Richo there. We mentioned it before, off the top, membership at 10K, but crowd's up 25%.
Love that.
That's pretty good stuff.
That is good stuff.
Yeah. I don't know if they're counting Lidcombe Oval, but...
Yeah. How was the crowd there?
Loud.
How many of the 10,000 members turned up?
Yeah, not quite 10,000, but there were some few good calls. One guy called out, "Sea Eagles more like seagulls chasing chips."
Oh, yeah.
At 32-10.
Nice. Good.
What do you think about that?
No, happy with that.
Okay, good.
Send that in as a raw emotion if you're listening.
It might have been Troy Maguire. Crowd's up 25%. That's great stuff.
Love that.
After 3 spoons.
Yeah.
Like, what a club. What a team. Moving on to the plans for the University of Leichhardt and Campbelltown College.
Mm-hmm.
He said he's happy with the Leichhardt plans. Obviously, we all are. They look really good.
Yep.
Work will be done in 2027, so we probably won't have any games there that year.
Okay, in 2027.
Yeah, so next year, 2026, will be the last of what Leichhardt Oval is right now.
Right now, okay.
So, yeah.
We were going to go out there in the next couple of weeks and just sort of unveil our sort of plans for it as well.
I'm really looking forward to that.
So we'll be getting a bit of content there and sharing that with, members first, the followers of Win, Learn or Draw.
That's right.
You'll be getting the exclusive, but I think you're going to be pretty impressed with what you see that we've got planned for the upgrade.
Yes, yeah. We're actually kind of town planners or project planners on this one. People don't actually know that, but we'll unveil all very soon. You're happy with the Leichhardt plans? Obviously, a year without Leichhardt's a bit...
Don't love that part of the plan.
Yeah.
But what's that? That's an Ashes year anyway. I might try and get away on a little work junket anyway, get out of town. Not think about it too much.
A Win, Learn or Draw work junket? Or?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's do it. I think it'll be worth it in the long run though, won't it?
Definitely.
The upgrade.
It'd be nice to have a really, really strong fortress home ground.
That's right. Well, there is a big question mark there. I think you're going to get to it here.
Well, yes.
I guess where would we play if Leichhardt was, obviously we've got we've got so many to choose from. Where do we bunker down, do you think?
So this is the thing. Richo said, Minzy, if we don't get that 100 million, we are not playing at Campbelltown. That's the be all and end all of it. Now, Campbelltown is the heartland of West Tigers territory, right? Well, half of West Tigers, the west of it. And West is best. I can tell you that after going to Lidcombe Oval. Where do we play if we don't play there? Now, you're going out there. It's the 9th wonder of the world.
It is.
It should not be stricken from the
record
of the West Tigers home grounds. Where would we play?
Well, look, probably the fear is that it would be Combank, which I don't love. I mean, it's okay.
It's good. It's good ground.
I don't mind. It's just I prefer to be at Leichhardt or, at least Leichhardt or Campbelltown. I've got a bit of, character, a bit
heritage,
of a link
legacy.
to the heritage. That's right, legacy to the club. We play so many teams at Combank where it's also their home ground, and there's just no home ground advantage. For some reason, we choose to play Penrith there. We choose to play the Eels there.
Yeah, good point.
So to end up potentially playing a couple more sides there, that it's.
What about if we played those games against them at Leichhardt, and then we went to Combank and played other teams? Maybe that would.
Yeah, I'd like that too.
That a little bit more, but I agree with you. I think Campbelltown needs to stay part of the fabric of the West Tigers.
That's right.
So Minzy,
over to you, mate.
What's going on?
Do we need to draw your diagram?
Come on.
Jeez.
I'll give you my bank details and I can pass it on to Richard.
He said Richard said until June 30. Got a June 30 deadline. 2 weeks today. They need to cough up the cash. Otherwise, be interesting to see what he decides. Well, I feel like it's going to be Combank if they move us anywhere.
Fingers crossed. Campbelltown survives.
Give us a couple of Allianz if you can.
Allianz would be nice.
Yeah.
2 or 3, 4.
Yeah, we've got
5.
2 there coming up in the next few weeks.
Yeah, excited for that. We'll be there. So that was Richo's update. Yeah, plenty of good things to take from it. And,
How many CEOs are jumping on a podcast and just facing the music? Not many.
Not many. Certainly not one we had recently. Okay, tackle 2.
He probably jumped on the mic a little bit too much, to be honest with you.
But he didn't face the music.
Yeah.
He's tracky dacks. Tackle 2. Wanted to call out some of the young guns we got coming through.
Yes.
Let me tell you this, Hammy. The future of this club is in very, very good hands.
Yep.
So we've had 4 players named in New South Wales under-19 squad.
Oh, how good. CBA Bowl, as Guru refers to it. Could be anything, but he's heading up to it.
Could be anything. I was
on
trying
Thursday
to
night.
figure out what that was. I thought it was either Commonwealth Bank of Australia sponsored or Can't Be Arse Bowl.
Yeah.
So
Neither.
that makes sense.
Could be anything. And there's been some great stars that have come through it over the past few, so many. But he's put a few posts up this week. Mitch Moses, even though a bit of a dog and left the Tigers. Cam Murray, Bradman Best, obviously.
Yeah.
A lot of great players come through the under-20s.
Well, we've got 2 blokes, 2 young fellas, Luke Laulii and Hiamasi Makasini, and I'll touch on him in a second. I don't know if you've heard this name, but...
Makasini.
Oh, now we have a new chant.
Yeah.
He has humongous raps on him.
Okay.
Like bigger than Mission, bigger than Helga's.
Wow.
Bigger than Subway.
Bigger than Mr. Sheen's forehead. Remember the old can of Mr. Sheen?
Yeah, is that a saying, or have you just...
He had an enormous forehead, didn't he? Almost a 5 head, some people say.
And when we had 2 girls get picked as well, Evie McGrath and Ella Walker.
Pigeon.
Yeah, Pigeon McGrath and Max Walker.
Walker's on.
Walker's on. Chris Walker.
Someone tell him Walker's on.
So 4 young guns coming up through the ranks for the West Tigers. So Luke Laulii, we've had a bit of exposure to.
We have.
We've seen him play.
Brother of Kit.
Of
0 minutes off the bench fame last week.
Yeah, but wait till you hear his stats in the Reggies Wrap. So Makasini, his 18th birthday's coming up. So basically, and I don't know if it's a blanket rule of the NRL or the Tigers have just made this rule, but they're waiting till he turns 18 to give him a crack at the NRL. Mm-hmm. So he's 17 at the moment, the only 17-year-old to be picked in the New South Wales under-19s team.
Wow.
He's signed a $1 million contract with the Tigers in October for 3 years. So cheap if you get some good 3 years out of him. He's had comparisons to Greg Inglis. Heard of him?
Yes.
Jonah Lomu, a.k.a. Tom Jenkins. Heard of him?
Yes. Yep.
And they're seriously considering getting him in the NRL this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he's an outside back.
He's an outside back. He's a centre.
Like it.
So he was basically saying he had an interest from the Panasonic Wild Knights.
Ah, yeah.
You know them?
Yep.
Japanese rugby team. I love, as an advertising
more of a Samsung fan myself.
As an advertising man, I love when brands entrench their name into teams. So much so that they are called that.
Yeah.
Panasonic Wild Knights, Red Bull, Salzburg in European soccer. It's just great integration.
Yeah.
And it gets talkabilities through the roof.
Subway Socceroos until recently.
Subway Socceroos until recently is a very good point. They asked him to tour their facility. He also met with the Waratahs. So he's a rugby boy from back in the day.
Yep.
And this is what he said. Listen to this. This will put a bit of lead in your pencil.
Okay,
Hammy.
good.
The Tigers are home. I'm a local junior. I can see something brewing at the club and I want to be a part of it. Unbelievably good
like
stuff.
that.
Yeah.
How good's
that
that?
really fires me up.
It's good to see a couple of teenagers still got a little bit of class in this game.
Yeah.
And respect for the club that they've come through and
I
gave
don't know
them a
if you
shot.
saw in the DMs, but we're not going to mention anyone, and I'll show you why after.
Yep.
But yes, Makasini represented the Australians under-18s rugby side last year, so Wallabies under-18s, but then also was Harold Matt's League Player of the Year.
How
in the
good.
same year. So Richo has been a long-time fan of Makasini and rated him equal to any junior he's ever seen.
Wow.
He said he's as talented kid as I've ever seen of my 30 years working in rugby league, and I don't say that lightly.
Oh, wow. Love that.
Now, the thing is here, we wind back the clock and we talk about Brooksy a little bit on this potty. We can't put too much pressure on this kid.
Yeah.
Which is why they're not letting him play till he's 18. You know, look at Jordan Rankin. But
We don't want another ranking on our hands here.
no, we don't. We want a Makasini. Hey, Makasini. So massive raps on him. And we'll get to see him in the CBA Cup
How good.
this Thursday.
Looking
So-
forward to it. And he's lining up in the centres. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is he straight inside Luke Laulili?
Good question.
We'll have to wait. Tune in on Thursday. Find out.
He's but he's 108 kilos and about 195 centimetres.
Wow.
And fast as lightning. So
love that.
3 years with the Tigers
Like
now.
a young Elliot Morton.
He is, except about 40 kilos heavier and 40 centimetres taller. But I'm fast as lightning. But yeah, it's promising signs for Nakasini. So.
Well, you weren't wrong about the let him a pencil part.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Bit of
You have reach capacity over here. Very excited for that. Yeah.
Very good. Reggie Wrap.
Yes. Well, I mean, who better to give us one? You were there, boots on the ground out at Lidcombe Oval.
I was there.
Out of the 13th wonder of the world.
I was there with, honestly.
Speaking of upgrades, Minzy, please. I mean,
the Tommy Radonicus
could use a lick of paint.
Could do with a corporate box.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I wouldn't mind watching that behind glass.
Yeah.
32-10. I was out there with my friends Ken. You know Ken.
Yep.
Dom, Dragons fan, and Brandon, who's a Roosters fan, but bought his own Western Suburbs jersey.
Did he?
Not for the day. It's just because he liked the jersey a couple of years ago.
Okay.
So he's a Magpies fan, but not a Tigers fan.
Retro one, or is it a
Victor.
Okay.
Victor, one you can get from Rebel Sport.
Cool.
32-10. Just before I touch on the players that stood out, Jersey Flegg also beat Manly 58-10.
Caught that, Manly.
Tigers. So Manly have had a very horrible week.
They've conceded 50. No, I think they've been smashed in all three grades.
All grades. Lost Olakuatu.
Yep.
DCE's going. Like it's all they're in all sorts.
They are.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to play the Tigers on a Friday night at 6 p.m. in a couple of weeks.
No, certainly not. No. Couldn't think of anything worse.
Exactly. So here's my standout performers. And it might sound like I stole this on Nothing But West Tigers Twitter, but it's just because we agreed.
Great minds, as they say.
Great minds. Charlie Staines, who I got a photo with after the game.
Yep, the GOAT.
But I really, the Lidcombe Lambo,
That's all you can learn.
I really felt like that guy that was at the airport that time when so Charlie he kissed his wife and was with his kids, and I was like, Charlie, can I get a photo? And he's like, yeah, 1 second, mate. And I was like, oh, fuck. Yeah,
I'm eating.
Yeah, basically that. But I'd had a few rashes under my belt, so maybe I wasn't thinking straight. But anyway, yeah. So sorry, Charlie, if you're listening. But he had a try, 23 runs for 234 metres.
23 runs.
23.
One for every number on his back.
Yeah, good point.
The magic round.
6 offloads, 4 tackle breaks.
Yep.
Now, another standout was the other winger, Tui Tupo. So Isaac Tui Tupo, 1 try assist, 1 line break, 21 runs for 240 metres.
Oh, yeah.
So he's this big, basically Jarrell Skelton type style player, just an absolute wrecking ball, and does the hard yards out of the back off the back fence as well. So one to look out for as well. Depth in the back line, I can tell you that.
Love it. So Marcasina wasn't playing on the week, or he?
No, he's down below.
Okay,
he's in Flegg.
Yep.
Or maybe even lower. Kit Lauliti was my standout though.
Nice.
He's not the biggest man, but he's wearing number 10 and he runs the ball harder than anyone runs it, I reckon.
Yep.
And he's got this flowing mullet while he's doing it. So he had a try, line break, 12 runs for 168 metres. The front row is pretty handy stuff, 17 tackles. But he was, I think that little injection of 0 minutes as a West Tigers player really stuck a rocket up him, and he played real hard.
How good.
Yeah.
Love
so
it.
Very happy with
Future's
him.
bright with him.
And Charlie Murray got 2 try assists as well.
How good.
So
he brought a bit of that experience back to the reserve grade as well.
That's right. And then we've got the Dragons in Wollongong this Saturday on the day of the winter solstice.
Oh, is that this Saturday?
21st of June, shortest day of the year.
How good's that?
Could be a long day for the Dragons, though, if you know what I mean.
More like Lost Stadium, am I right?
So, I wish I was there, but might not be.
Not heading down?
In Wollongong? I mean, I could. Why not?
Yeah.
You?
I hadn't planned to at this stage,
Yeah,
but
why not?
Never say never.
Never say never.
Yeah.
But
Sure, mine would love that. Winning or draw Ladies' Day 3.0. Take the girls down.
No, they're not even playing at Lost Stadium. They're playing at Collegians. No, hold on, let me get the name of it. I don't know, Collegian Sports Centre or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Count me out.
You don't like Collegian
Lost
Sports.
Stadium. I want to win soccer. I'm not coming.
Tackle 4, mate. You put the call out today. How's the chat back from the
Really
the
good.
students?
Really good. I thought it's Moses M round. I was like, we don't get an opportunity to do this too often because there's usually, so much to talk about and analyse and pull apart. But as we had a bit of a week off, I thought I'll throw up the odd ask us anything. And let's just see what a couple of the fans have got to say. So I found a couple of questions that are coming here. I'm going to go to Nathan Turner first. If I can find his...
Any relation to Ashton or Steve?
Not that I could immediately see, but I wouldn't completely rule it out. Nathan Turner asks, thoughts on a Mason Latu halves combo this week? Would love to see both in action with no Luai. Now, is there a bit of chat that Luai may not back up from Origin? Is it just 2 days later, potentially?
I would think there's chat.
Yeah.
If I know Luai probably wants to play, but it's probably a good opportunity to see those two run out together just in case Luai's never not available again.
Yeah.
I'd probably prefer Luai Latu.
Me too. Yeah, same.
Mason 14.
Heath off the bench. I think I'm probably with you on that one.
And just because, I mean, we're playing Campbelltown as well. I mean, we're playing Canberra at Campbelltown.
Yeah.
Which is, not quite the cauldron we want it to be. So, I think we need to go for the win. And I think if we have a chance of winning, we need Luai.
Yeah, completely agree. Costa Trimus asks, will the Tigers hold on to Greg Inglis, brackets Stafford Toa, or Lebanon's favourite son, Adam Dewey, with the signing of Taylor May? So he's got the crystal ball out. Richo did say it'd probably be about a month away, come back through the Reggies, or get a bit of training into his belt. Reggies, then come into the first grade side. Who do you think misses out if we're running out at full strength?
What do you think of this, Hammy? Because I think Toa holds his spot.
Yeah.
It's been too good not to. What do you think of AD moving into a bench forward role? Like a Jack Bird linking middle role? Like he's big enough. He's maybe strong enough.
That, or maybe he goes to 14. I know we've probably got, for the time being, I'd go Luai, Latu, Heath Mason, 14. But you could maybe bring him on.
Well, he could probably play 1 to 7.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I honestly feel like he could play lock.
Yeah.
And that Latu Finu role at 14, come on and play that 13, that linking role.
Yeah.
I couldn't push AD, Dewey, hee out of my 17.
No, neither. I think he's in there. And, it's his spot to lose, really. I think you're going to need, we need to see Taylor Mason's not just walking straight back in, is my point.
Well, yeah, I'd hope not, because Dewey's been a great servant to the club for a long time.
Very good.
And Stafford Toa, a.k.a. Greg Inglis, a.k.a. Mal Meninga, a.k.a. Makassini, is playing out of his skin. So, I'd leave them both there for a while.
Yeah, I'm with you. Taylor Arnold asks, hey, boys, keen to see some merch, like beanies, etc. Is there a time frame on that? Now, we touched on it off the top. Ball is really in the Students of the Game's court at the moment. If we can get to 2,005 subscribers, followers, whatever it might be first, on one of the various platforms, Instagram or YouTube, whatever, we'll do it then. In fact, if we get 2,005 Apple Podcast reviews as well, I'll also pull the trigger in the event of that happening. But that's when it'll be happening. And I think
we might need a teaser. Yeah. Maybe we need to tease what we're actually going to merch to get that drive going to 2005. Because Arnie's got a point. We talk about this merch.
Yep.
But maybe we need to show what we're thinking about. All right. Let's get our mums, our dads, our brothers, our sisters, our cousins to follow Win, Learn or Draw podcast and get it to 2005, and then we drop bang on the day.
It's a good point. It'd probably be pretty basic to start. Say like shirt and hat kind of vibe, and expand it out from there. But watch this space. It is on the radar
for sure.
So don't panic. All right, Brandon Davis. Looking for Brandon. Here we go. Who do you think could be some good signings for 2026? What areas do you think we need to kind of bulk up in on our roster? Is there any gaps you think that we could do with a couple more signings?
KPP is a sensational signing.
Happy with that as well.
Cover that back row. Yep. Wouldn't mind Golden Boot winner as AEO. Is he on the market?
I don't think he is, no. I think he's on long
Tino?
term.
Tino would be perfect. I reckon if we had this big, hardcore forward come into the squad, and then maybe a bit of strike in the outside backs, just some depth there. I don't know. We've got like some guns coming through.
Yeah.
Younger, but they're a bit young, right? What do you reckon?
Outside backs for me, I think are looking pretty good. Our backline, very good.
Yeah.
Happy with that, to be honest with you.
Just depth then. Maybe some depth signings.
Yeah, a little bit of depth. Maybe one more dog in the front row just to, that you whack on the bench and just like you continue your Pole and your Terrell May.
Like what Royce Hunt should be.
Yeah.
So just a big body coming off the bench.
Yep.
And creating a bit of impact, giving Terrell a bit of a break every now and then.
Payne Haas might be looking for a new team.
Payne Haas and Tino would be nice.
That'd be nice.
Should we give him let's drop him a DM.
Yeah, I'll have a chat to Langy and he can pass on to Richo. Let us know in the comments. Who should we be going after? Who do you reckon?
Yeah,
probably still got a bit of cash to spend if Richo's to be believed.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, this next one comes in from Duggo. Duggo, where is he now? He had a good. It was words to the effect of. Here we go. Besides the 05 Grand Final, what's your favourite West Tigers moment or win? I know mine. Is there one that springs out for you?
You go first. Let me have a think.
Well, look, Probably the one best Tigers game I've attended live is the one where we got our profile photo for this podcast. 2023.
Yep.
Leichhardt Oval, 66. 18 over the Cowboys.
Yep.
People hanging out of the Wayne Pearce scoreboard, all that sort of stuff, all that good stuff. A lot of carry on that night in Leichhardt. That'd probably be the one that'll stay with me for quite a while, I'd imagine.
Yep.
Honourable mention to last year, the Gold Coast Titans game where I got a photo with the Hay Thurston bloke. And we also won that game as well.
Yeah, that was a good one. That night was probably the best atmosphere I've ever felt at a Tigers game.
Yeah.
When everyone was going, ooh, and waving their fingers when the scoreboard attendant was updating the score.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely one of my favourite live attendances.
Yep.
I think the other one for me, honestly, and it might be a little bit of recency bias, but that Cronulla game when we won in Golden Point with a kick from Dudu Hee.
Yeah.
Just the fact I'd taken a few mates there for their first game of rugby league, and that happened because they'd done that before. I'd taken a few people to Leichhardt Oval for the first game of rugby league, and it was the Knights or the Titans a couple of years ago, and it was some of the worst league I've ever seen in my life. Whereas that game was a good game, and we won 20-18, and again, carried on the OG afterwards. In fact, I actually stood up on a concrete barrier as the car drove past, beeping their horn, with Tigers flags waving out, and I was like, "You bloody beauty, let's bloody go!" And the security guard told me to get down and leave.
Yep.
But then I said, "Oh, I'll be right," and he said, "Yeah, okay." So
chugga.
That was a good night, and I think that really resonated with me because it was a Golden Point win, which we don't get often.
We've got a shocking Golden Point record, in fact.
Yeah.
Nice one. Various people have asked us this. Where do you think we finish this year? I'm not picky. Top 16. Anywhere there, which is no sure thing.
That's an easy one.
Just at this stage. Yourself, where do you think we finish?
I think we finish 9th.
Yep.
So I know we've got a tough run home, and I know we've had 4 lessons in a row, and I know we've lost a few games by 6 points or less, and I know that we should have won a few at Campbelltown College. But all those things aside, I think we come home with a wet sail, but not wet enough.
Yep. The best kind of sail. Nice wet one. Very good.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. There's a few more here. I might save them. Save them for next Ask Me Anything. Thanks for responding, though, guys. Lots of good ones coming in here.
Yeah, because you only put that out very recently, too.
Very recently.
The phones were lighting up.
They don't muck around, the students of our game. They like to get their homework in early.
That's a good point.
Students on this podcast.
That's a very good point.
So that's point 4, Ask Me Anything. Now, tackle 5 and our most important tackle each week.
Oh, by a mile.
You know, I had the pleasure of running into royalty of this podcast last night at the Matty John show. He told me he was going to be in the crowd. Tom Backfence Brown.
No way.
And I knew instantly that he was there. He was with his brother and one of his other mates.
How did you know?
So as soon as I walked out, in the final ad break, I could just hear a big just cavalcade of "Let's bloody go." So he was there. Good to catch up with him and have a little bit of a chat. He's gone on and he's given us a review on Apple Podcasts. Very grateful for that as well. Thank you, Backfence Brown. Now, there's been a bit of a through line. Is he on the cusp of immortality? And his brother actually asked me about it at the show last night. He's getting really close. Very tough to ignore.
Yeah.
I wanted to jump ahead a little bit and just play a raw emotion clip. We've only got a couple this week, but there's one from Backfence Brown. I think what he puts to the students of the game at the end of this podcast, this is the sort of thing that could get him over the line. I want to make a slight alteration to the what he's put forward, but I'll play the clip first.
Sure.
And I think this might be the straw that breaks the camel's back for immortality. So let's get into
let's
bloody go.
Let's bloody go.
Chugga chugga chugga.
Hey Hammy, hey Morty. Happy buy round, happy hectic cheese, James Graham buy round.
The buy
It was
round.
lovely to see you last night, Hammy. You did amazing up there. I think
nice.
soon enough, when Matty's contract ends, I reckon you put a bid in.
We should go on.
I think you guys will go pretty
take
well
over.
up there.
Hell yeah.
But I was thinking,
A bit
buy
biased.
round, what are we going to do for Raw Emotion this weekend? It's an old classic for me since I was about 16. I've always told myself the Tigers make the top 8. I will get myself a Tigers tattoo.
Nice.
And sadly, I've not been able to do that since.
I think I know where this is headed.
So this year I was thinking I will get my Tigers tattoo if the Tigers make the top 8. But I was thinking maybe leave it to the people. You guys come up with some designs, what I should get. And if that's the case, then you know what? I'll get whatever the people decide.
Unreal.
So I hope you guys have a good week. 2040 West Tigers till I die. Let's bloody go. Get on the say barge. Chugga, 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 chugga.
So there he is, the great man. He's going to get inked up if the Tigers, he thinks, makes the top 8. But I think it would be more fitting of, you know, what we've gone through as a journey on this show. If the Tigers make the top 16,
Yeah, I agree.
I think that should be the cutoff.
That's where I thought
of where Backfence Brown gets inked up. And yeah, I mean, over to you guys. Let us know in the comments. We might even put up another question box at some stage during the week, you know, with Backfence Brown, you know, getting inked up and what should he get? Where should he get it? What are a few things that spring to mind when I say Tom Backfence Brown to you? I think the say barge is one that comes instantly to mind.
Oh, for sure.
Chugga, chugga, chugga.
Yep.
West Tigers till I die, which he puts in an acronym in a lot of his sign-offs as well.
Yeah, WTTID.
Yep.
2040. 2040 is a big one.
And of course, let's bloody go. And the goatee. And he's grown the goatee back as well. He had it on last night. So there's a few things to kind of to play with. But
now I wonder if we could get a bit of free marketing out of this as well, and maybe have like raw emotion written on his within his kind of tattoo.
Yeah. Or if he gets it on the sleeve and has Waka noodles there as well, like the old jersey sponsor.
That'd be good. Immortality.
Yeah. If they don't sponsor us after that, I mean, fair dinkum.
Yeah, I know. That's well, if they got a free logo on someone's skin, I reckon they'd have to owe us a few quid.
Yeah.
Or at least a packet of noodles.
Yeah.
I did actually comment on the West Tigers post the other day about Taruva. I said, come on the show. Give you a free pack of Waka noodles. But anyway,
ball's in his court there.
This is about Backfence Brown.
Yeah. He did say to me actually last night, he goes, he did a bit of actually digging on Waka noodles, and apparently whoever runs their socials is not actually based in Australia. So I don't know how he found that out, but appreciate the diligence and the hard work from Backfence Brown there. But you know, over to you guys. He wanted to put it over to you guys, the students of the game. What should he get inked up with to celebrate the top 16 finish?
I'd love some drawn submissions as well.
Win, learn, or drawn?
Put them out. And that's what we could call it.
Yeah.
Win, learn, or draw your favourite tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. That is very hard to argue to get immortality after that. In fact, almost impossible.
The big don't argue.
The big don't argue.
Shout out to the Plain and Simple guys.
Yep, Lucky Pringle, got to shout him out as much as we can.
Yep.
Tackle 6, I've got a show and tell for you.
How good?
I thought Moses and by round, I thought I'd bring some things in to make you wow.
Okay.
Maybe wet your eye, wet your seat.
Bit of lead in my pencil.
Let me. I'm just going to go over here for a second.
Okay.
If you want to fill.
You know what? While you go over there, might be as good a time as any for us to go to a break.
Let's go to a break. All right, we're back.
Okay. now go and get the thing. Oh.
So.
Wow.
My wife said to me, now you can pick, she said, we need more art in our house. She said, you can pick any piece of art that you feel represents you. You know, and she got these really nice paintings from this American artist that were really cool. 3 of them are in our hallway, and they're quite like colourful and awesome. And then I was like, oh, do you like these kind of French ones off Facebook Marketplace? And she was like, yeah, they're cool. I said, all right, I'll go pick them up. And when I came back, I had this for $20 from some woman in Redfern.
Yeah, good.
For those listening, you might have to jump onto YouTube.
Yeah, this is very much a visual thing that we're doing right now.
But I'm holding a piece of art here that is A1 size bit of paper.
A1, yep. About that.
It's big. And it's a tiger laying in some grass, just kind of looking very pensively across the plains.
Yep.
And she hates it. She said that's not going anywhere in our house.
Yeah,
so,
it's not painted or anything either. It's like printed out, and it's a bit. We had it on the angle there. You can see the light bouncing off it. It's almost like it's a bit wet or like folded or something underneath there as well.
It's also broken in the bottom right corner.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, I thought I'd donate it to the set.
How good's that?
After it got rejected from our house. So
yep.
My show and tell this week, it is very visual.
Yep.
But it's not my last piece of show and tell. I have one.
That's outstanding. Do you get a receipt for that? Tax deduction.
I spent a lot this week on Tigers stuff.
You need to go get some receipts for that. Thank me
For
later.
my hat and my art.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
In that order.
But what about this? My mum found this. I'm holding up right now a 2005 season review from Andrew Voss DVD.
How good.
So I'd burnt this off my mate. I think I've mentioned this on a previous podcast. But I had a label maker at the time. So I've made my own label on the front of the CD.
Not bad.
It says season 2005 and it's got a West Tigers logo on it.
Yep. Must have been a nightmare to cut that hole out of the middle part of it.
The whole thing. It was a label maker where you would print it through and it printed perfectly on a little label.
How
Peel
good's
it off,
that?
stick it on. But these are my two things that I really wanted to show and tell this week. This one we can probably watch together one time over a few West Tigers.
If anyone's got a DVD player, please let us know in the comments. Or if you want to go and buy one off some woman in Redfern,
she's probably selling them.
Yeah.
And if anyone wants this, maybe we could sign it, put it up for auction.
Yeah. Yep. Happy to do that. More than happy to do that. That's outstanding.
That's our show and tell for this.
Well,
week.
you've shown. I wish I had some notice. I would have tried to dig something up, but
No, but I feel like we can rotate on that.
Yeah, sounds good.
Because we don't want to overwhelm the students with too much
that's right.
good stuff.
Geez, you put a bit of pressure on me with a big double like that.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
And I've got more.
If you backed Mort 2 or more show and tells, congratulations, you've just been paid out.
Now that was big effort from me. Now I'm expecting very big effort from you because guess what we have coming up here?
Top 05.
Yeah, we do.
Yep.
I can't say what it is. Do you know what you've done?
Yeah.
You've actually kept the words top 05 in black and then everything else is
How
in
good's
white.
that? I'm
clever,
I'm
mate.
edging you in the run sheet.
Well, you knew what was coming up because if the top 05 was in white, I wouldn't have even known that segment was coming up.
Well, you're welcome.
Very clever, and also Western Suburbs Magpies colours, black and white. So
It is.
Thanks for that.
That'll be $45. Thank you.
I'm going to shut my laptop a little bit.
By all means,
and just listen.
please do.
And react.
So this is off the back of Jerome Luai getting called into Blues camp. I can't believe we actually both of us forgot to put that in the set of 6. But
Wow.
Who cares? We can talk about it
Isn't
here.
that exactly what we said in WhatsApp as well? Like,
Yeah,
what are we
it
going
is.
to talk about this week? Oh, well, Luai's obviously
Absolutely.
gonna get some coverage.
Well, he got brought, and can't wait. We spoke about it a bit on Bloke today, but everyone's been too scared to say anything in the lead up to both games. The biggest feud we've kind of had is between Aaron Woods and Karl Stefanovic. So
Yeah, that's a good one.
something's wrong there. Players put themselves on media bans, probably the ones that you want to hear from the most. Spencer Leniu in particular, public enemy number 1. He's only done one exclusive interview, and that was with myself and Cooper Johns
That's
for
right.
Sportsbet a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
But apart from that, no one's really said anything. As soon as Jerome gets brought into camp, he goes, "Yeah, I'm ready. I got that dog in me." Just the most Jerome rugby league thing ever. I can't wait. It's like, so exciting. He just oozes origin.
I think it was West.Tigers _ that put up a collage of his origin moments.
Yeah.
And man, you're right. Game 1, it was like, oh yeah, we breezed over as Blues fans. Breezed over the fact that he wasn't there because we won quite easily. But then you look at what he's done in the Origin arena before, and like the blood trickling down off his lip, him standing over Harry Grant or Carrigan or something, like standing over them.
Having a biff last year with Cherry Evans.
Having a biff, laughing and pointing. Yeah, the chill.
All you idiots have work tomorrow.
All you idiots have, and then standing at the front of the Caxton with his
With the ninja emoji.
yeah, with the ninja emoji. He is a walking, talking headline. So for have him back in the Origin arena is fantastic. And we have the Moses M. We had the Moses M, so it wasn't affected. We might miss him in the Canberra game, which is going to suck. But to have an Origin player again is just fantastic stuff, and it'll do the world of good when he comes back to camp and goes, "Guys, I got that dog in me again.
Yep.
Let's bloody go."
Well, sharpest one of the game, Matty Johns said he reckons, here's how he sees it playing out, goes into Origin, he likes him man of the match, $17, if you don't mind. narrativebet.com/Jerome Luai. I can see that happening. And then he reckons he comes back and brings a bit of confidence that he gets out of Origin, brings it back to the Tigers, and they go on a run, which I love.
Yes. Now,
How's the lead in your pencil levels going over there after?
you can see the laptop's
Yeah,
kind of shooting
just hiding
up a little
it.
bit. That's a really good point because his performance against Penrith was one of his best, if not his best so far this season. Big game player, massively. And if he starts treating every West Tigers game like a big game, then he's going to step up. And I think playing alongside those Penrith guys again, he'll put a bit of ink in his biro. And I think he'll, Penrith, sorry. And I reckon he'll get a fire under the belly and come home with that wet sail.
Yep. The best kind of sale. All right. So basically, my top 05.
Right, sorry,
To segue into that.
Yeah.
Is it's off the back of Jerome being recalled to Origin camp. He'll become the first Tigers player to play in the halves for New South Wales as well. So there you go, bit of trivia for you.
Unreal.
But I've gone with because he will become, I think, the 14th player who whilst playing for the Tigers to play Origin.
Wow.
I've gone with my top 05 niche West Tigers Origin representatives.
Fantastic. You know what? I wouldn't have even thought we had 5. So that's a good list.
Well, I'm going to go through the 5, and then very quickly after
Shout out
that,
the
I'm going to get you to have a guess at the other 9.
Oh, God.
So, but I've tried to eliminate the niche ones first, so that hopefully the ones left on the table.
Gotcha.
And they're not all niche, but they're just like ones that you wouldn't immediately think of.
Yeah, gotcha.
Some definitely are a bit niche, but so working our way up, it's our top 05 countdown, or is it a count up?
Let's call it a count up.
Top 05 count up. Kicking off with number 1, niche West Tigers Origin representative. Number 1, the late, great Terry Hill.
Yeah, nice.
I've got him in there. Not necessarily niche, but maybe one that wouldn't spring to mind straight away. He played 14 Origins for New South Wales.
Yep.
Just one of those was while he was playing for the West Tigers.
Okay.
He played game 1 in the year 2000. He came off the bench in that game.
Oh, yeah.
But he played for a lot of clubs. He... a real character of the game. I'll always remember him for being the face of Lowe's. Low.
Yeah.
All
he
the
was
way.
fantastic. He was great on the footy show too.
Very good on the footy show. Played for 5 or 6 different clubs, and he was actually instrumental through the game of rugby league. There's been a lot of chat in recent years, and I remember a few years ago when we won our first spoon, my wonderful partner, Mon, goes, she's trying to kind of cover me. She goes, that's okay. At least you get a good pick in the draft. And I went, she's an AFL girl. I was like, nah. She goes, what do you mean? I was like, there's no draft. She goes, so what happens? What do you get? I was like, nothing. You just get abused and bullied by your mates for having a bad team for the year.
It's crook, isn't it?
So, but there was a very small window where they tried to introduce a draft into it was the ARL at that time.
Yeah.
And Terry Hill went, pretty high in that draft. He went to the Sydney Roosters, didn't want to go there, wanted to go to the Magpies, and him and a lot of other players who got drafted took the ARL to court.
That's right.
Yeah, and long story short, they got up, and he ended up being able to wiggle out of his East contract. And he went and played for the Magpies under restriction of trade. So he had a big impact on the game, character of the game, but also a big moment there in and around what could have been if we persisted with the draft.
Now, he's part of one of the most iconic Origin moments of all time. Might not have been a West Tiger at that time, but that face-to-face with Tallis is...
Which I believe is what they fashioned the logo out of for a while. The two faces pressing against each other.
Yep. So Origin icon, West Tigers icon, rugby league icon, great inclusion.
The late, great Terry Hill.
Yep.
Number 2, Keith Galloway.
Yeah.
Played just one game for the Blues, game 3 in 2011. Should have played a lot more, in my opinion.
Wow.
Gus Gould absolutely loved this bloke. Talk about letting your pencil. He couldn't control himself. Not safe for work. Some of that commentary when Big Keithy got into his work.
Which is interesting that Gould loving a Tigers player. But anyway.
Well, it's interesting because Gus Gould actually loved him more than he loves lying about having not met players before he signs him for his club. So that just to give you a bit of a sense of how much he actually loved Keith Galloway.
He did love Keith Galloway a lot, to be fair.
Keith went on to play 5 tests for Australia, all in 2011. Tim Sheens was the coach.
I was going to say, was Sheensy coaching?
Yeah, and, you get the sense Sheen's legacy around this time is potentially why they now don't want to let a club coach be the Kangaroos coach. Not saying that Keith didn't deserve a spot in that squad, but a few eyebrows were raised with a couple of other selections.
Shannon McDonald, fullback.
Well, yeah, that was one fight that he unfortunately wasn't able to win, but I think that was for the best. The Shernack brothers, they weren't able to get a run.
In the halves.
Yes, but post-footy, he became West Tigers Life member in 2018.
Yep.
And he also starred in the film of a teammate, Kyle Lovett, who played 50 games for the club, went on to become a film director.
Do you remember?
Licorice.
Right. So, weeks ago, Kyle Lovett came in at 3 in my top 05, maybe rookies.
Yep.
And we looked him up and he was an actor, or now a director as well. And Keithy G was in one of his films.
That's right.
Licorice. We're going to have to watch that.
We're going to have to.
Is it on DVD?
It could be a good one for us to add to our DVD playlist when we get it.
Well, if we're buying a DVD player, we may as well buy some DVDs.
So just to give you a bit of context around Licorice now, the Rugby League Mole did a good article on this back in 2023. There's a few quotes here. The film has I think you might also act in it as well as have directed it. I'd have to get clarification on
I
that.
think you might, yeah.
Yeah. I played a season with Lee in England after the Tigers did an acting course in Manchester, he said. Playing first grade football was a dream come true. This is a new dream. I've always loved writing and the movies. All right. So the film has a bit of a Tarantino film feel. It's all shot in Sydney, and I play a character who burns the candle at both ends. It's an action drama with bits of sex and drugs. Funding is hard. I put in my own money and was blessed to have 2 investors. Once we got the go-ahead, I reached out to Keith, as we were old footy buddies. He played a great cameo, and it could be the start of a whole new journey for him. I told Keith on set he was a real natural. He has a presence, and I can definitely see him having a career in film. I don't think Keith has appeared in a film or TV show since then, but good to hear that he went well. And there's a couple of shots, some stills from the show here, and he definitely looks the part. Real badass.
So I just Googled Licorice movie, and I just saw ratings 7.1 out of 10 and 90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
I was like, geez, that's Licorice Pizza.
Oh.
Which came out like 3 years ago.
Yep.
Was actually a highly touted movie.
This one's actually spelled, it's not spelled like licorice. It's Lickeris. Licorice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Clever.
So a bit of a
I love
catalog
it.
to be
Yep.
used. But anyway, there you go. That's Keith. He's coming in at number 2 on my niche Origin players.
And
West
niche
Tigers.
acting references as well.
Double threat.
Licorice. We're going to have to check that one out, I reckon, Hammy.
We will. Next buy round, maybe we do a watch along or a full review. All right, coming in number 3. Should have been higher. Moses Mbai. Now, I would have had him higher, but we have been saying his name a lot lately, so I think it would have been too obvious to have him come in at the top of this list.
Yeah.
He played all 3 games in the 2019 Origin Series, which Queensland lost 2-1. It's the one where Teddy scored that famous try right at the end.
Oh, love that. One of my favourite Origin
A big
moments.
series there. He played 2 games off the bench and 1 game at centre. But perhaps the biggest story around Moses Mbai in 2019 is that he nearly died of anaphylactic shock after accidentally consuming peanuts in the lead up to Game 2 in Perth.
Where?
Do you remember that?
What year?
2019.
Did he?
Yep.
No, I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
No.
It happened, and miraculously he took his place in the side 2 days later in Perth. He played the game.
Queenslanders, you just can't write them off, can
It's
you?
that, it always happens to one of them, doesn't it? Something sweeps through the
something's
can.
always swooping through can.
Anaphylactic shock or the flu, that old chestnut, literally. Anyway, that's Moses Mbai coming in at number 3. Great Queenslander.
Yeah, playing centre is a stretch considering I don't think he ever played centre at club level.
Yeah, well, he in the last game for some reason, I don't know what who was coaching the Maroons at that point? Kevy. So in the last game,
there you go.
he had Michael Morgan played at centre in all 3 games, and then he changed in game 3, put Michael Morgan on the bench into the number 14 role, and Moses started at centre wearing the number 14. So there you go.
Wow. That is an interesting inclusion. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I probably, if you asked me if he played Origin, I would have said no.
Yeah.
Until we said his name 50 times in the last 2 weeks. But yeah, no, I think you're right. That is a niche Origin reference. He wouldn't have been in my 14. So
Yep.
yeah, good inclusion.
This one I don't know. Some wouldn't class this as niche, but I'm claiming him. Without us, would this bloke have ever played Origin?
Yeah.
I guess we'll never know. I'm talking Harry Grant coming in at number 4, on loan from the Melbourne Storm, part of the worst Queensland side ever. He debuted in Game 3 of the 2020 series, scoring the series-winning try as well. So there you go.
Was he playing for West at that time?
He was.
Wow.
West fans will remember him. He was the recipient of a standing ovation for the West Tigers in the pre-season of this year. It was a huge year for Harry. Would he ever have made it without playing for our club? Not one for us to say. We'll never know if he would have achieved the heights.
Cam Smith would still be playing, I reckon.
Yeah, probably.
If Harry Grant didn't come to the Tigers,
Butterfly effect.
This is the domino effect that would have happened. Cam Smith would have said, I'm going to keep this kid in reserve grade because I'm better than him. And then the year he went away, he was like, oh, no, actually, look at him play in the NRL standard. So, yeah, it's an interesting one. I think we gave him the platform, and here he is a stalwart for Australia.
You're welcome, Rugby League.
Welcome,
that's our little gift to you. One of many. Coming in at 05.
Here we go.
Yeah. I'm going to just start with some clues, see if you can guess who it is. 204 first grade games at 4 different top-level clubs. 1 Origin for Queensland whilst wearing West Tigers colours in 2021. Still playing the great game of rugby league for the Lee Leopards in the UK Super League as we go to air right now.
Chris McQueen.
No. Nah, never pulled on the maroon while he was at the Tigers. He did what a lot of Tigers players of that era did. He played Origin 2 or 3 years before he joined us, and then we paid him $300,000 or $400,000 a season, more than he was probably worth at that time. But he didn't play while he was with us. I'm talking, of course, about Joseph Anthony Young Offengawe.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah, of course.
So he played 3 games for Queensland over the journey, but 1 whilst he was wearing the West Tigers jersey.
Yep.
And that's one that I definitely think a lot of people
No,
may
we
have
got
forgotten
that.
about.
And you might remember from a couple of episodes ago as well, Joe Offengawe got the Kelly Barnes Player of the Year
He did.
that same year. So he was having a ripping year.
He was.
He would have been a good signing at that time.
Yep.
Acquired from the Brisbane Broncos, obviously. But no, I definitely would not have thought he played Origin while he was at the Tigers.
There you go. That's my top 5 this week of niche West Tigers Origin players that you might not have thought about. Now, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 as of Wednesday next week. West Tigers that have also played State of Origin. Would you like to guess them?
Jerome Luai,
Yep.
Woodsy, Farah, Prince. Lawrence didn't, did he?
No.
That's a joke. Can you give me a hint?
Yep.
Blues?
Premiership player, Blues.
Premiership player. Scando? LaFranchi?
No. Didn't play for them while he was playing with us.
Daniel
Involved.
Fitzhenry.
No, warmer. Getting closer.
Hodgson.
Brett Hodgson.
Yeah.
Yep.
06.
Still got a couple more here. Three to go.
Yep. Who am I looking at now? What era?
You said Princey?
Yeah.
Yep. All right, 2 to go. What era? Current era. Current day.
Current day Tigers.
Yeah. One of them is still a current day Tiger. The other one's playing elsewhere, but will be playing on Wednesday as well.
Can you just tell me?
Stefano and Appy.
Wow. Appy did, didn't he? First year at Tigers.
Yep.
And Stefano played. I thought
He played
was
7 minutes off the bench.
Did he?
Yep.
Okay. Well, they could have been in your top. Well, he could have been in your top 05, I reckon.
Yeah, but I wanted to go ones that you would have.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Not that you guessed him anyway, once you I took a lot of them off the table. But there you go. So that's my top 5 this week.
Well done, Hammy.
You happy enough with that?
Yeah, mate, that was brilliant and very topical as well.
Yep.
I love that you keep me in the dark for so long as well. What's it going to be? And I don't find out until the moment the top 05 segment goes live. So
Yep, you're welcome. It's all part of the
appreciate
theatre of it.
yeah, no, I appreciate that. Just before we go to Raw Emotion, do you mind if we just pop to another break?
Let's do it.
All right, thanks. My dad just asked me before, he goes, when you do that on YouTube, is that a joke? And I go, no, it's for the audio. So anyway, Raw Emotion this week. Did we put the call out or is it just some students?
No, people hate the students of the game. They're quick learners. They go, we don't even need a call out. A few people fired them in.
Right.
I had to do a bit of a welfare check on one of our immortals, Reece Smith. I said, are you alive? What's going on? What did you get up to on the buy round? I haven't even listened to his one yet, so we're going to be raw dogging that one this week.
Yeah.
How
do you spell that?
ROAR.
Dogging.
Dog. So yeah, we're going to hear from Toby King. Actually, we had a question come through this week. How do I send a Raw Emotion through the Raw Emotion hotline? Just do it on Instagram. If you can't send it to us, just go, hey, I want to send one, and we'll accept your request, and you can just fire away through voice note in there. We've already heard from Tom Backfence Brown. We want to hear your suggestions for his tattoo. So I've got 2 more this week. Toby King, who spotted something and sent us a little photo over the course of the weekend.
Just before you do, big Keithy G, who of licorice fame maybe, sent in a 5-star review that I think you know you need to give an answer to.
Oh yeah.
They said, I'm a bit confused as to why the segment is called ROAR Emotion as opposed to RAW Emotion.
Yep.
If somebody could clear that up for me, that'd be great. Thanks. Other than that, really love the pod.
Oh, great. Well, happy to add a bit of context.
I'm actually in the same boat as Big Keithy G.
Oh, yep.
So if you could just,
Yeah, you've got your best man on it. I can talk you through that.
Please.
So it's spelled ROAR. Very simple. So the reason it's spelled ROAR is because that is the noise that a tiger makes in the jungle. Much like that piece of art that you brought in. That one would have probably let a few roars out.
Did you say it's rawsome?
Yes. I believe your wife probably also would have roared similarly when that thing walked through the front door. So that's why it's spelled ROAR. It's a play on words, people, all right? Just to invoke a little bit of raw emotion out of it.
Gotcha. Okay, big Keithy G. If
You
you
catching
are
what I'm
listening-
kicking?
Yeah, now I actually am.
Elbows in.
Yeah.
Catching what I'm kicking.
Okay, gotcha.
Anyway, so that's why it's spelled that way. So Keithy G, hopefully that answers that for you.
Thanks, mate.
All right, over to Toby King now, who sent in a photo of something that he spotted out in the wild this week.
Hey guys, Toby King here, top contributor of the West Tigers Win, Learn or Draw podcast. I've just, I know there's a Moses M-Buy this week, so I sent a photo that I just found at a local oval. It says, dogs not permitted on ovals. Hashtag Lachlan Galvin is a dog. He can't come here.
Where is it?
Well, the photo was one of those ones that disappears after you look at it one time. When you take a
yeah.
screenshot, it goes, you can't take a screenshot of this because it's only allowed to be showed once. But it was a great photo. If you want to send it through again, Toby, without the disappearing function on it, would love it. But love the little backhander to a certain someone there on the way through.
Nice one.
Yep.
Great. Thanks for your contribution, Toby, as always.
Now, Reece Smith, I had to fish for this one. This is the last one that we've got this week.
Yeah.
I said, how was your Moses M-Buy round, first immortal? Would love to hear about it. Microphone emoji. Say less. I'll deliver for the boys, he said.
Say less.
And he's given us a minute 54 of his best. So, and I haven't heard this yet. So,
Oh, God.
shout out to Guru. This could be anything.
Boys, it's the Immortal. You're probably thinking, what did the Immortal do at the Moses round? Well, one of the downsides of being an elite football brain out there in the world of the community, of the NRL community space and the world and the community, is that you still watch the football, even though the Mighty West Tigers, the best team in the competition, don't play. And something you realise watching these other petty clubs, they're so fucking boring. Holy shit. There's no fucking excitement about them. There's 13 pixies on the field swinging their little fucking nipple tassels around because they got no backbone. They got no ticker, no flair. That's why Luai got caught up into the Blues camp. They said Origin's been a bit boring. I reckon Mitchy Moses doesn't even have a calf to pull. They said, get Jerome in. We need him. Man comes in, looking hot, in all black. Probably still a hard penis from the game on the weekend. Anyway, something that went through the Immortals' head was, just this week, right, just watching a bit of boxing over the weekend also, I fucking really think the Tigers need like a walkout song as they go out. And like, as good as Red, White and Black is from the Wiggles,
Orange one.
it just doesn't hit the same. I think we need just something like, just heavy. If you got TikTok up, boys, get it up on the laptops. This isn't my genre, but I think it'll just get everyone as hard as Jerome is on the regular. Dom Dollar's remix of Black Betty.
Ah, that's good.
Let me know.
Wow. Well, at least his growls are back. He didn't sound as hungover as last week.
No, he didn't, which is good news at sort of 6:30 p.m. on a Monday, which is good to hear.
Saying Mitch Moses doesn't have a calf to pull, that's funny stuff.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I like it. Dom Dollar is exploding at the moment.
Yep.
I think we do run out to Eye of the Tiger, do we not?
Yeah,
Like
had done for a while.
West Tigers. Yeah. But
No, they've gone away from that one where they changed it up to the West Tigers.
I sang that at karaoke once.
Did you?
Just chanted West Tigers.
Sing along if you know the words.
Exactly.
Look, we can't dig it up on here. I don't want us to get pulled down for copyright violation. Would be my one concern about the Dom Dollar Black Betty remix. But that is an elite. That would be a very good song to
Should
go
we
out
chat
to.
to Langy?
Leave it with us, Reece. It's a good suggestion.
Fly it up the flagpole, see what Richo says. There's a few
Yep.
things we need Langy to tell Richo.
It's going to be a busy week for Langy. Sorry
and
to
Haas.
tell him.
And
Tino Haas.
get Dom Dollar to play every game live
Yep.
while the team runs out.
Tickets to that Cumberland Lounge for that game against Panthers
and
as
tickets
well.
to the Cumberland Lounge,
Yep.
of course.
But Dave, Reece, good to hear from you. Good suggestion. Thanks for checking in, mate. Good,
Always good.
Always a pleasure.
Always good.
So that's Raw Emotion, spelled ROAR. We'd love to hear from you. Make sure you fire them in after the game this week. Remember, there's a couple of bits of homework for you, students of the game. You got to tell us what sort of tattoo Backfence Brown should get. You've also got to tell us, basically explain to Elliot what happened during the course of the game.
Yeah.
So make
I'm
sure.
actually looking forward to that.
Yeah.
A student-based review.
Yep.
What do they call it?
Peer
when all this-
review.
Yeah, peer
review articles.
That's right. That's
Yep.
right. All the students bound together. And
Because we're doing a PhD in rugby league here.
Hammy et al. Reviewing the game for me on Saturday
Yep.
morning. That'll be fantastic.
Harvard referencing, please, as well. That'd be good.
Yeah, exactly. The last piece of the puzzle as well is comment on who you reckon we should sign next year, and we'll because we want Tino and Haas, but happily fly out the flagpole
Yep.
as well to Langy and Richard.
Interesting to see how we go with Tino, given he's just signed a 10-year deal. But hey, we got our best men on it in Langy. I'm sure if anyone can do it, it'll be him. Throw in a couple of cans of Hames paint. I'm sure we'll get him over the line.
Mate, so next week,
Yep.
we've got the Raiders.
We do.
We brought in a little bit of a new addition a couple of weeks ago, the win, learn or draw crystal ball.
Yep.
So the win, learn or draw crystal ball, you had, I think, Heath Mason coming off the bench and winning the game for us.
Yeah.
I had Jerome Luai collecting 6 Dally M points.
Yeah.
I wasn't too far off on it. They haven't released the Dally. I could not find them anywhere. And then, yeah, everywhere I look, they haven't released the Dally M.
They've gone behind closed doors as of a few weeks ago.
Gotcha.
So we may never know.
We might know. Yeah, we may never know.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say I was pretty close. I think Heath Mason did do something at the end of the game, and I thought Hammy was pretty close too. So we're close.
Yep.
We're on the right track.
Uh-huh.
The game against the Raiders this week, before we get into the crystal ball, how do you think it's going to go?
It'll be tough. They are now one of the best teams in the competition, the Raiders, this year. Them, the Dogs, probably the Warriors and the Storm. They're the top 4 sides at the moment. I reckon the Raiders probably finish top 2.
Yeah.
It's a bit confusing at the moment because they haven't had as many buys as some other teams, most Zems. But they basically have had more wins than anyone else in the comp. So, they're essentially on top of the ladder. It'll be a tough game. I've gone with a prediction for this game.
Yep.
They've got a debutant on the wing. Hot Tamale for the Raiders has gone down.
Yes.
Debutant. It is the son of the coach, Ricky Stewart, Jed Stewart, is going to be debuting on the sting.
On the left wing.
On the left sting. So my prediction is that our man Taruva of Tequila Chant fame, shout out to Troy Maguire,
Yep.
will be scoring 2 or more tries and giving him a little bit of a nightmare on the wing on debut.
So the win, learn or draw crystal ball says 2 or more tries for Turuva. Turuva.
Yep.
Very nice.
Sunia Turuva. See what I've done there?
I have. I was actually thinking of somehow combining that into Backfence Brown's challenge, Tattoo Ruva.
Oh, yeah.
But couldn't quite come up with one.
I'll let you work on it over the course of the week.
Thank you, mate. I'll be acquiring more art as well. Yep. So that'll be my week. My crystal ball prediction is Luai backs up.
Oh, 48 hours later. Back-to-back man of the matches.
And he grubbers to himself for the win.
Grubbers to himself. Okay, that is bold.
Grubbers to himself for the win over the Canberra Raiders. I think he hasn't scored a try for us this year. And I think the whole story of winning the series with the Blues will just absolutely stick a rocket up him and he'll turn into prime Luai. And then he'll score a try by grubbering to himself.
Wow.
Heard it here first.
Could you be a bit more specific with your crystal ball? Do you think?
4 bounces.
Okay.
And then he'll dive, catch it while it's bouncing. Instead of falling on it, he'll dive and catch it.
Get it
down.
clean.
If I get that right.
Yep. I'll share you some waka noodles. Because that will probably be the spicy play of the week as well.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
They'll come on as sponsors.
Yep.
Okay, these guys are Nostradamus.
Yep.
That's the episode this week, mate.
Noodle Damus.
Noodle Damus. Call me Noodle Damus, please. Comment that if you listen all the way to the end of the YouTube episode.
Yep.
Comment, you are Noodle Damus.
Yep.
That is the end of the episode, though.
Been a bit of everything in that one today, hasn't there?
Yeah, there's a bit all over the shop.
Yep. Bit of licorice, all sorts. Pun very much intended.
Very much.
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
Lickerish.
Episode 16, a win, learn or draw. Might have a title there. No.
Episode 16, here we come.